In the modern day era of the internet, it's hard. Wow! I don't even think it's that good, but it looks fucking sick. It's hard to separate the meme from the mania, right? With this Kate Middleton stuff. So I go to the most trusted source of information on the planet. I go to Reddit, reddit.com/r/royal family, hoping to get like some kind of mega thread that's like, here's what's going on with Kate Middleton. We're going to separate the wheat from the chaff and the misinformation. And then r/royal family is acting like fucking nothing's going on at all. They got their head in the sand. They're like, is there a reason why the Duchess of Kent Maybury didn't attend the funeral of Earl Dickens of Charcuterie back in 1901? And then there's like, yeah. I'm like, bro, nobody fucking cares. Can you? I need an adult in the room to tell me what's going on with this Kate Middleton stuff. Otherwise, it's all TikTok influencers that are like, she seems fine on first glance, but I did a little digging in my fucking own mental illness, and I've decided that she's been replaced by a fucking body double. She looks too much like herself to be her. Also, this is not fair. And I'm sure that he's doing okay, you know? But I feel like people are going hard in the fucking paint on Prince William. And like, I'm just putting myself, I don't know what's going on, but imagine like his wife is like, I want a divorce. And he's like, okay, but we're in the public eye. We gotta chill for like a little bit. Maybe we'll just take like a leave of absence from media. And then like, because of the fucking weird way that it's been handled, every time I open up Twitter, it's like, imagine aging like this. Imagine being such a fucking husk of a human being that you're fucking, even your own hair decides it doesn't even want to be around you. And I'm like, damn, I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy, but at the same time, like, can you just go easy on him? He might not have done anything, man. His wife said she's gonna get bangs or something like that, and then the fringe doesn't look good. She's got to grow it out. All of a sudden, 10,000 unemployed people on Twitter are fucking sicking their teeth in him. He's also unemployed? Bro, he's making social appearances, okay? So you're defending the monarch? No, I'm defending the monarchy. The monarch, I don't know shit about Prince Charles. Prince William's supposed to be my boy. We kind of grew up together. He doesn't really know me, but he was like, you know, his poster was on the damn wall of all my female friends growing up. You see that Colin Farrell interview? Where he just kisses the interviewer?
I'm just going to mix it up, see what happens. You have to keep asking these fucking questions. I mean, you look great, by the way. Gentle, yeah? Just gentle and sweet. Just gentle and sweet. Nice breath? Yeah. You got a buzz on that? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man.
Canada's wild. I feel like maybe... Malf, can you back me up here? I saw the tweet on Twitter, by the way, that said this, but I think there's some truth to it. One of the hardest things to explain to Gen Z is that Prince William used to be the hottest guy on the planet. Like, from 1998 maybe until like 2010, he was probably like the number one, like, people's sexiest man. Like, when I was in the 4th grade, every girl in my class had a crush on Leonardo DiCaprio, Prince William, and Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Nah, he was not. I was fucking there, bitch. People were going crazy for him. David Beckham. Soccer didn't exist in Canada until the 2002 World Cup. Next question. My era was all K-pop dudes. That's not your fucking era. What is that, like 3 years ago? That's fucking now, bro. My era. You're living in it, dude. Have you been following the Doordash Discourse on Twitter? Dude, Twitter's finally catching up to streaming culture circa like 2017. Somebody had the misfortune of tweeting, every day in my neighborhood I see people getting like one bagel and a DoorDash, a coffee DoorDashed. Do they have any idea like how expensive that is versus just buying it themselves? And then, hey, not Bradlington, by the way. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. And people really, really got on their ass. That were like, actually, sometimes it feels good to pay $50 for $17 worth of McDonald's. There's also, and like, I feel like I'm not trying to get sucked into a false level of the culture war. Almost everybody, and everybody that at least has been outside in their lives, knows that the food delivery is way more expensive than going to the grocery store. Why are there always like 100 motherfuckers in the comments that are like, it's actually more expensive to go to the grocery store? Like the dude in the comments who was like, actually, I drive a Ford F-350, so if I drove to the grocery store for every single meal, like it would cost me as much as DoorDash, so I just get DoorDash. And you're like, you don't fucking buy one meal from the grocery store, you dumb motherfucker. You could, or you just get it all fucking Instacarted to your house in one big go, and then I'm not saying we never order delivery. I'm just saying like the people who they jump through the hoops to be like, you don't understand why specifically for me DoorDash is actually better. And I'm like, that is crazy. Can't you just be like, I like food that tastes yummy? Like, don't lie to yourself. You could DoorDash some yummy food. You trying to change the argument so that it actually becomes like it's actually the smart decision to buy DoorDash. That's crazy to me. And then there were other people that were like, yeah, the problem is that you pay for so much. You pay so much if you just get a small order. So what I do when I order DoorDash is I order like a week's worth of dinners on DoorDash, and then I just keep them in the fridge and warm them up. That way I save money on like the dasher portion and the tip. And I'm like, now that's just the grocery store, but like 4 times as expensive. And the shit is not gonna taste good. Like I'm not coming at you like, you fucking suck. You gotta, like, you shouldn't be in society. But I'm like, you gotta sort this shit out. You have tricked yourself into thinking that like this is the way, and it is not the way, man. But then, like, and I say this not to defend the prodigious DoorDashers, but then the only group of people online in this discourse that are more annoying are the people that are like, yeah, all food is too expensive these days. So what I did is I moved out of the city and I bought my own 100-acre farm and I raised my own cattle and chickens. And I'm like, well, you're even more annoying than the fucking DoorDashers. Because this shit, the goalposts have moved like my entire life. When I was a kid, people were like, yeah, I go out to restaurants, but I don't order drinks. And then like 10 years later, they were like, well, I go out to restaurants, but like I don't get like appetizers, and I split the meal in half and take like half the meal home so I can have it for leftovers. Then it was like, I don't go out to restaurants. Now people are like, I don't even go to the grocery stores. You realize that means society is falling apart, right? Like life is actually getting worse for you than it was for like your parents. Like back in the 90s, people were taking their family out for dinner and they would be like, sure, you can order some ice cream for dessert. And nowadays it's like, we have a fucking 2 dairy cows at home. Like, what are you talking about, little house on the prairie ass? Don't you own 312 self-storage facilities? I thought you were supposed to be balling. When you worked in an office environment, were you a lunchbox Andy? Depends what you're asking. Are you asking about, did I carry a lunchbox? No. This is back when plastic bags were legal. I would carry a plastic bag with a Ziploc bag with a sandwich in it. Maybe like an apple and a banana and a granola bar or something like that. And then I rationed myself. I ate lunch out in the neighborhood my office was in once a week. I place a lot of spiritual benefit on eating lunch on a workday in an environment surrounded by other people. It makes you feel like you're at the lunch counter of fucking Macy's circa 1951, like building a new ICBM to keep America safe or something like that. It reminds you that you're part of society. You know, you're not just one dude. I used to work at a place close to a grocery store. So on Mondays, on my lunch break, I would just go buy like a loaf of bread and lunch meat, cheese, maybe like some lettuce, and then just make the sandwiches at work. It was like I didn't bring my lunch from home or get takeout. By the way, that's a great tip for those of you addicted to DoorDash. Did you know that you can buy all the... I can't get into this discourse, okay? I'm just concerned that we as a society are conditioning ourselves to be weaker than we actually are in respect to this one specific issue. I saw somebody that was like, I know I order too much DoorDash. I know that I can buy the food from a grocery store, but the problem for me is like when I want one sandwich, I have to go buy an entire loaf of bread. I have to buy like a pack of lunch meat. I have to buy a pack of sliced cheese. And I just don't want to eat that many sandwiches. So I end up like throwing out all the ingredients. I wish a grocery store sold like kits where you could just make one sandwich with the ingredients. And I'm like, you understand, not to be rude here, but you didn't do fucking anything and you're still complaining. You didn't raise the animal, kill the animal, process the meat, turn it into a weird fucking wet pink log, slice it up and put it in the store, send it out, put it on a refrigerated truck to get it to the store. You didn't plant the wheat, water it, harvest it, mill it into flour, bake it into a loaf of bread. You didn't do fucking, all this shit shows up in the grocery store miraculously due to economic incentives. And you're like, yeah, but I just want to buy 2 slices of bread. Just eat 5 sandwiches. It's okay. Living alone and buying food fucking sucks ass. No, I did it for so long. It's totally fine. You just buy whatever you want. It's actually the easiest way to grocery shop. Wait till you got it complicated with 3 people who all have specific different food vetoes or something like that. Alone is so expensive. 2 is the sweet spot. POV, you and your wife split food costs equally, but you eat more food than she does. That's the only way that shit makes sense. Cooking and cleaning for one person is just a lot some days. You ever see the tweet about how hard Halloween is when you have ADHD because like you can't choose a costume, and the top reply is like, you fuckers can't do anything, can you? What do you mean cooking and cleaning? Don't say cooking and cleaning for one person, okay? You're cooking and cleaning for yourself. It's not one person. It's not like you go to the cleaning factory and your output gets sent to a stranger or like your op or something like that. You made the mess, fucking Chicken Little. And say what do you mean it's not easier to clean for 10 people than it is to clean for one person? What are you talking about? Doing chores for other people is more rewarding. There's always a reason, isn't there? There's always a reason it's easier for other people and not for you. We should get some kind of system going because it feels so much more fulfilling to do work for other people than it does to do work for yourself. What if we had a system going where like I did some shit for you that you didn't want to do and you did some shit for me that I didn't want to do? We live in that system right now. That's what the system is. You spend 8 hours doing some shit that someone else doesn't want to do. You probably don't want to do it either. It gives you money that you could give to someone in exchange for doing some shit for you that you don't want to do. You've invented the system. You see the shit where they were talking about like it's too hard to make a frozen meal, so I have to order DoorDash instead. People were jumping through hoops. Yeah, but making a frozen meal is sometimes too much mental load. If only there was a rotating assortment of volunteers that you could sign up for that would make the frozen meal for you. I don't know how deep could now it's because at some point isn't it too hard to sign up for the volunteer service? Like it never ends, man. At some point, you just gotta nut up and pop the shit in the microwave, okay? You can also, the rule is, you can also order from DoorDash. You just have to hate yourself. That's it. You are absolved from negativity for ordering from DoorDash as long as you hate yourself while you do it. What you can't do is be like, I have no choice but order from, like ordering from DoorDash is actually the noble thing to do in this situation that I'm in right now. As long as you do it begrudgingly and go, oh, I can't believe I'm fucking doing this again, then the light in your soul is still on. I have no quarrel with you. It's only when it's like somebody criticized getting a coffee that costs $3.50 DoorDash for $11.72. I gotta explain to them why my unique situation means that that's the only thing I could do here. That's where I'm like, what happens? Getting the prepped meat from hmart has saved my life. Dude, this based. There's some good stuff. They got some Yangnam galbi, LA galbi, bulgogi. Also, I was under the impression that everybody knows how to grocery shop. But actually, like, I wouldn't want it, because I hate whenever I'm like, I went to a restaurant last night, and people are like, oh, a restaurant, have you ever heard of the grocery store? I make my own food. You know the stuff they sell in restaurants is also available in another store? I don't know how the fuck to make takoyaki, bitch. I gotta go out there. Every time I've got a craving for takoyaki, I gotta see it coming like 2 weeks earlier and then go to fucking playasia.com and get a takoyaki maker. And, oh, you know, you go to fucking hmart, you get the takoyaki batter yourself. Like can I just go, like, you deserve treats now and then, okay? And after your 108th time eating takoyaki, you basically break even. But there's people in the comments that are like, I mean, I just can't get over the dude who's like, I drive a Ford F-350, so it's actually cheaper for me to get DoorDash than to burn the gas to drive to the grocery store for every meal. And I'm like, brother, it's my favorite guy who goes to the grocery store for every meal. No wonder people are like, I don't like to cook. You wake up, you're fucking hungry, but then you gotta wait for the grocery store to open, drive to it, pick out all the shit, drive back home. By the time you get home an hour and a half later, you're like not even that hungry anymore. Your body's already gone into starvation mode. Again, I want to reiterate, you should be able to use DoorDash now and then. You should just feel like a tinge of regret to do it. Whenever people are, I hate the fucking Puritan Andes who are like, you don't deserve anything. You don't deserve to ever go out to eat. You don't deserve to ever eat fucking full fat cream or something like that. Don't you know you're having one cupcake? Don't you know that the cupcake is full of fucking glycophycolate? You deserve treats, man. Even back in the day on the fucking savannah, I'm sure they were like, holy shit, check it out. It's a fucking like cashew or something like that. People are really like, I'm not sure I've earned the cashew. Pretty sure they were that is the shit that probably like made life worth living. But you should not be trying to run interference for using DoorDash every day. I mean, you could be like, I use it every day and I'm embarrassed. But you can definitely not be like, I use it every day and it's actually better than the grocery store. Because that is... I don't even know what you want me to say. It's not going to be anything positive. See the viral post of the lady who got 15 fries for $10 at the Canucks game? I have. I'm sorry to say, I think the old Canucks are back. This is besides the point of the white spot. First half of the season, I'd see a tweet that's like, we're locked in after 2. Canucks are up 4-0 on Washington Capitals. Then I'd see the tweet at the end of the third period, final, 5-1 Canucks. I was like, oh shit, we're actually like doing something this year. Now, it seems like every single game is the same tweet after the second period, having a good night at home, 3-0 Canucks. And then it's like final, 4-3 in overtime for the visitors. And I'm like, what the... Something's not... This is the start, man. This is the start. What about the fries, though? Well, we talked about it yesterday. I know, like, concessions are just too expensive at the Canucks game. If you think what basically happened is she got a really shit pour of fries. The white spot or the triple O's inside of Rogers Arena where the Canucks play actually tends to be one of the better values. Certainly not cheap, but she was a victim of variance, essentially. If you really wanted to rile people up, tell them how much an actual beer costs. 22-ounce beer, $23. That's why I get my shit dashed to me. Imagine being in your seat at the hockey game and then seeing the dude come down with the fucking Uber Eats backpack, the level 1 Tarkov helmet and the Uber Eats backpack, and unzip your shit. Oh, man. That would be great. It was like actually cheaper to buy my Dasher a ticket to the Canucks game and then order 24 beers from Doordash than it was to get beer at the stadium. Holy fuck. Yet I'm the asshole when I try to smuggle alcohol in the Camelback. Here's my axiom for this. I don't think, well, first off, if you're in, like, if you're you have a family and you're doing this, you're probably cooked. It's just bad optics. You can't be a dude with a spouse and a kid and then also get like dragged out of the stadium for trying the Camelback like 12 beers in. They're going to send you to rehab. But if you're like, 26 and you're doing that, I think it's totally fine. As long as, and you need to be honest with yourself, as long as it's not going to be a fucking problem. If you can handle your shit and you're not going to get way, way, way too fucking drunk and disrupt things, then it's not a fucking problem. Okay? Did you see the tweet about kids being their mom's rival from a past life? No, I didn't see that one. Kids being their mom's rival from a past life. Speak on that. I did see some of the videos about the mom who says she doesn't play with her kids.
I can already hear the hate comments on this video, but I'm going to give you this precious parenting information anyways. The reason that I have children who are 4 and 6 that let me sleep in on a Saturday, because they'll just go play. The reason I can go and read a book while they play, that they're able to play independently, is because I just said no to them every single time they asked me to play with them for years. And eventually they stopped asking and just went off and played. Oh my God, what a horrible parent. You don't play with your kids. Simmer down. Hear what I'm saying, not what I'm not. I'm not saying don't spend time with your kids. I'm not saying don't be playful with your kids. I'm not saying don't connect with them, okay? I'm saying that I established a culture in my house that adults do not play with toys. Adults do not pretend play. I bake with my kids. I do art with my kids. I go on walks with my kids. We go to the museum with my kids. We just got done making a scale model of the solar system together because they said they were interested in planets. Then my husband set up a science experiment for them in the shower, and they're now doing that by themselves. We just ordered some Indian food. When they get out of the shower, I'm going to probably get in bed and read a book and eat some Indian food with their dad, and they will be expected to just play like kids. But nobody tells you that the way that you get there is by saying no a lot. And they're sad about it and they're mad about it. Please let me play with me. And you feel like you're the worst parent in the world for saying no to them and hurting their feelings. But I can tell you, fast forward a couple of years, they are happy and creative and they have parents that are loving and responsive and they are secure enough to just go play and be kids.
Honestly, like I've said before, like, probably 95% plus of parents out there are genuinely like doing their best. But I do almost think that like as soon as you become a parent who posts videos about parenting on TikTok, you should get a visit from Child Protective Services. That doesn't mean your kids should be taken away. Maybe there's some PhDs out there that are like, here's lessons I can teach you from my experience. But they at least need to visit and make sure that everything's okay. Because most parents out there, like I feel like if I was talking to some of my daycare dads. I was like, hey, do you ever get the impetus to like make a video about like your parenting style? I think I would be laughed out of the group chat, honestly. They would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? What am I gonna make a video about? They ask for an apple. I say, here's an apple. Like, what? It's only if the person goes, yes, that sounds great. Why I never give my kid an apple when they ask for it, and then they spin out like an 8-part series on that. That's where you have to justify yourself to Child Protective Services a little bit. Some people are not compatible with their kids because they were rivals in a past life. That's the body of the video. That's crazy, bro. Not compatible with your kid. What are you talking about? Imagine having a kid and not rocking with it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times you're like, you know, I'm like, girl, your vibes are off. Like, why are you so stressed out? You broke a piece of chalk. We got a whole box of chalk that's exactly the same color. Oh, you like that one? You like that mass-produced chalk from the Crayola factory? Well, here's another one right next to it. Like, just chill out. Kid might have bad vibes. I don't know. I mean, the vibes happen at some point, don't get me wrong. I don't think I've met a 3-year-old with bad vibes yet. Every 3-year-old I've met has started initially being shy, and then the parent goes like, hey, show him what you got. And then the kid reaches like into their jacket pocket and pulls out like a fucking rock or an acorn or something like that. And you go, whoa! Is that a motherfucking acorn? Holy! And then they go, yeah. And you go, wow, where'd you get that? The ground. The ground? What ground? The ground outside. I never would have thought of that. Can the child understand sarcasm? It's not sarcasm. Sarcasm would be like, what's that? Something useless? Oh, never mind. It's a rock. That's like, you gotta be a fucking sociopath to talk like that to a 3-year-old. Rocks are cool, bro. She was formed by like mineral accretion over 1 billion years. Oh, fucking the mysteries of nature. Your kid voice was on point. All 3-year-olds basically sound the same. It's an easy impression. What's crazy is that like, even though they all sound the same, it's so easy to understand my own child speaking, and it takes so much effort to understand other children speaking, but their parents seem to understand it like as well as I understand my child, which doesn't make sense because I'm like, bro, your kid is like babbling, and you're like, you had too many pieces of cauliflower for dinner. You wish that some of the pieces were broccoli instead. I'm like, how'd you get that? You're like, that's what he said. I'm like, to me, I just got like, then my kid goes, and you're like, oh, actually, you don't like broccoli or cauliflower. Your favorite vegetables are cucumber and red pepper. And you have a rock dipped in. It is like talking to R2-D2 a little bit. Yeah, you never want to hear your kid go, don't do it. Oh, man. Did you see the Hey, we're Costco Guys discourse? Whoops, I loaded up Balatro by accident. The discourse I did not see. I did see the video. What could the discourse possibly be about the Costco Guys? Isn't it just a dad and his son kind of having a fun time at the Costco?
We're Costco Guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we have to try out the furniture.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we work out with the tires.
We're Costco Guys. What the heck is this thing?
They're cannibals. So, the kid needs a propeller beanie. He's literally like 13 years old. He's fine. Half of you in chat need propeller beanies. Honestly, you leave the nation's youth out of it. Saw your reply to Fantano. Important Olivia Tremor control question. Something or dusk at Cubist Castle. It doesn't matter what the something was. The answer is dusk at Cubist Castle. I just thought that I'm not suggesting that the Costco guys from the Costco Guys TikTok listen to Olivia Tremor control. I just thought that it had a great cadence off the tongue. Because the tweet from Anthony Fantano was like, what music do Costco guys listen to? I just thought it sounded nice to say, we're Costco guys. Of course we listen to Olivia Tremor Control. Everyone else was going for the fucking... I don't know why they want to divide people so bad. They're literally just watching people like shopping for groceries. And they're like, these guys look like they listen to Imagine Dragons. It's a dad and his son, you sociopath. You don't know anything. Listen, if anything, they sounded like they might be from New Jersey, so if you're going to make fun of them, they're probably listening to the Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet. If you're going to be offensive, at least like make it a coherent stereotype. They definitely look like they listen to my least favorite bands, guy who has not been to Costco for 10 years because of crippling anxiety. Like, just fucking, they're just having a good time eating some chicken bakes, bro. Let them live their lives. I don't doubt that there's people out there who got mad when they watched the Costco Guys video, but it's so funny just to think of like a video of like a dad and his son having fun, and then thinking of people at home like, man, fuck you, then trying to come up with like one of those like smarmy PSA ways to cancel them. PSA, please don't film yourself in Costco grabbing as many Squishmallows as possible. Some of us have imprinted on those Squishmallows and we want to buy them, and you're clogging up the Squishmallow display. You see the guy on r/meth who kept taking meth and stealing Doordash orders, and then all the other people on r/meth were like, fucking stop it, and he was like, you can't make me stop. The librarian had it ready to go. No! Okay. All-timer tweet. Men can't have hobbies anymore? I know it's an insane sentence. Why are you on R-meth if you don't do meth? Well, like, can a guy have hobbies anymore? A guy's not allowed to be curious? I don't go to subreddits for hobbies that I'm interested in anymore, because that's like the first step on like not being interested in the fucking hobby anymore. You're not a really chili head unless you got Mama Liz's chili oil in your cupboard. Mama Liz sold out to Oots Foods 12 years ago. I wish we could get the independent Mama Liz's chili sauce back. Oh, I just drove out to Frisco this weekend. There's a new sauce made. It's called Pepperhead's Delight. It tastes so similar to what Mama Liz's used to taste like before she sold out. Like, you can't just, who would have thought the first time you put hot sauce on your eggs and you were like, this is good. Who would have thought it would lead you down that sorry path? Instead, it's great to go to subreddits for shit you have no familiarity of and assume that this is what the average person who partakes in this hobby is like. The reason I go to R-meth on occasion is because, like, I have absolutely no concept of what it's like to do methamphetamine. I have no concept of what it's like to live life when addicted to methamphetamine. So I'm learning a little bit secondhand about society by reading these Reddit posts. No, you saw it on Twitter? Bro, I've been reading r/best of thwacked out takes for 10 years. You don't know shit about me. That must explain why r/sex has so many users. Bro, biggest like wake up call in my life. Probably 23 years old, something like that. Go to r/sex, sort by top all time, hoping there's going to be some tips or something in there, some tricks, some cheat codes. Just a bunch of posts that are like, my boyfriend did some fucked up shit last night. How should I feel about it? Really teach you a lot about the real world. I was hoping there would be like a Prima strategy guide at the top or something like that, but instead it was like a bunch of people learning to have self-respect, not let people treat them like that. To walk through the IGN walkthrough. Beef, pork, onions, garlic, coriander, red pepper flakes, salt, black pepper, cumin, fenugreek, paprika, chmieli from Cabaret, sour cream cheese, flour, and water from the nation of Iran. From the nation of Georgia. Oh, kubdari. It has become a beloved dish among tourists who are eager to explore its unique culinary scene. Me, when I'm a tourist, hey, you guys got anything resembling a sandwich? I'm not even hating. I would buy this for sure. And I only get to do it like once every couple years. On the West Coast, I guess it's more of an East Coast thing. Going into like a bakery, either a Chinese or a Jamaican bakery, and getting a couple of beef patties and just eating them in your car. Oh, man. Do you ever feel like you're more a part of the city than when you get a Jamaican beef patty and eat it behind the steering wheel of your car? I don't know. I don't know the answer. Car in the city? You're from Europe, huh? We do things a little differently over here. Even the walkable cities have people driving around like nutcases. You wouldn't be able to comprehend it. We clown in this bitch, so true. Take your sensitive ass back to Warsaw. We're dying in a car accident that took place at 18 kilometers an hour in this bitch. We clown in this motherfucker. Sorry. Did you see the Americans bragging about driving across the UK? Yeah, but honestly, I'm North American, so I was kind of like loving that for them. Because the first post was all British people making fun of Americans. Americans really be like, I got 7 days in England. I'm thinking day 1, London. Day 2, fucking Glasgow. Day 3, we'll go to Dublin. Day 4, Wales. Day 5, we're going to go see Dover. Day 6, we're going to go up to Inverness. Day 7, back down to London. Any pro tips? And all that, they're like, don't fucking do it. The roads they don't go as fast as you're used to. You won't have any fun. And then those motherfuckers said, bet, and they fucking did it. And their travel diary was like they had a fucking great time. I love that for them. Now, is it the trip I would want for myself? No, not really. But literally they said, that's all right, but we don't mind driving 10 hours a day, and they fucking did that shit. I was at an all-night diner, size of triple X, but they was talking about root beer. I'm just sitting here, breathing the thin air, thinking of the oxygen. Have I told you, when I have sex, I'm always thinking about the pavement so I can avoid premature ejaculation. I woke up remembering to thank him. Better things to do, so I'll start drinking. First, the chain reaction started in the parking lot. We started to bleed onto the big streets and bleed out onto the highways and off to other cities. Built a store and sell these rocks. So are you feeling real dirty living in your parking lot, waiting to bleed, you know? And that's like a 9-minute long song that just keeps going until the guitar solo hits, and the guitar solo just goes.